welcome to Chamber Talk, and I'm with Shayley Bodily from Kiewit Nuclear Solutions, and Shayley is the regional community coordinator for Kiewit.
Yes.
And also one of my really bestest friends in the whole world.
That's so true.
Love and adore. And I'm really grateful to have you on today. Thanks for being willing to do it.
I'm scared, but I'll do it for you.
Thank you. So, Shaly, tell me just about Kiewit, and like for someone who has no idea who Kiewit is and what you guys do, tell me a little about.
Yeah, so Kiewit is an engineering, procurement, and construction company, commonly known as an EPC. We are located in all of North America. So we have presence in obviously the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Okay.
And we pretty much build everything but houses.
Okay.
So we build football stadiums, we build zoos, we build bridges, we build roads. So pretty much anything commercial.
Yeah.
And then my division is nuclear. And so this is something that's kind of new to Kiewit. In the past, actually, I want to say like the 50s or 60s. Do you do a fact check at the end, like Dax and Monica, or no?
Might do. Depends.
Okay. I might need a fact check at the end. But we were in the nuclear business. We built nuclear facilities, enrichment facilities, different stuff like that to support kind of like that nuclear boom back then.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got away from it just because nuclear wasn't as popular.
Yeah.
And then especially when Fukushima happened.
Right.
So we're back. We're doing nuclear, and I support one of the very first projects that Kiewit Nuclear Solutions has done, which is the spent fuel handling project. And it is a facility for the United States Navy, and we are building that out at NRF on the INL. So
what's NRF?
NRF is the Naval Reactors Facility at the Idaho National Lab.
Look at you with all your acronyms.
I know, it's crazy.
So tell me a little bit about that project then.
Yeah.
So like, what's the scope, size? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so it's very big. We are just a subcontractor on that project. Like I said, we work for the United States Navy, and then Fluor Marine Propulsion, and then Amentum, and then Kiewit.
Yeah.
So our scopes entail structural steel. We're putting up, oh my gosh, I need another fact check, 17,000 pounds of NQA1 steel, which is nuclear quality assurance steel. And it's, I want to say it's like 2.5 times the Eiffel Tower worth of steel.
Oh, wow.
And then we also have the siding and roofing and miscellaneous platforms.
Right.
This facility is essentially huge pools. It's the size of 2 football fields, but 2 pools that go really deep in the ground, probably like 30, 40, 50 feet, that they'll fill with water, and then all of the spent nuclear fuel from submarines and aircraft carriers will come here.
Wow.
And it'll sit in the pool. So we have like platforms that go over the pools, right? And so that's part of our scope of work. And then also just the like meat of the building, the HVAC, the electricity, the plumbing, all of the architecture, because there are parts of the building that are like more like normal office spaces, right? So they'll have like cabinets and like, like a regular office. So that kind of gets put under like our architecture scope. So yeah, we're pretty much building the entire building besides the concrete.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a very, very big project.
So do you know kind of what happens, once the spent fuel is kind of put in the water? Tell me about that, because I have no idea. This is like, I'm like a complete novice in this space.
So I know a little bit. I mean, it is the United States Navy, right? So it does go there when the fuel comes. It's still hot, right? It's still radioactive. It's still
Yeah. Dangerous. Dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they'll put it in the water to essentially cool off. And then, I mean, it's, oh my gosh, we're gonna get shot.
I hope not.
I'm sure they experiment on it and do different things, right? Like they have to.
Right.
So anyways, it's
research.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll do research on it and, whatever the Navy does with it. But essentially it's there to cool off enough so that they can cask it and then send it to where it's going to live.
I see. Okay. So it kind of goes there to kind of cool down for a period of time. They kind of then take it out, seal it all up, and then get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's like kind of blows your mind a little bit if you think about.
Yeah, it's insane.
Obviously, your company's here in Idaho Falls, heavily involved with a really important strategical project for the U.S. Navy.
Yes.
And it's all happening on our doorstep.
Yeah.
That's cool, huh?
It's really cool.
So how does that excite you? What excites you when you kind of get up in the morning and go to work? Like what's it that kind of like gets you excited?
Yeah, I think it's just the movement around nuclear right now. That's really exciting to me. Like this project that we're talking about, this is more on like the Department of Defense or the Department of Wars.
Right.
Yeah. And then we also have like our commercial nuclear side, which is really exciting. But for this project, I think it's just, being able to give back to our country and to be able to be a part of something that is going to keep shaping our defense and our Navy and the technology that they have. All of that will eventually go back to them, right? And so that excites me. And then our commercial side really excites me too. You're not supposed to like say like green or clean energy anymore, right? Okay. But it is exciting. Like it's exciting that we could potentially have different ways to power communities. I think like Bill Gates, when he started TerraPower, his nuclear company in like 2008, I believe, that was something that he wanted to be able to give is, these small modular reactors that are portable and send them to countries that like they will never know what a fossil fuel is. They'll go from having no power to nuclear power to be able to provide, their energy infrastructure in their cities. And I think that's really cool.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm also just excited to see this, the private sector really stepping up into the nuclear world. Because typically that's been very much a government-led
it has,
industry. So to see now the emergence of, companies like Kiewit directly involved with the nuclear sector, then there's other businesses kind of, around the area as well that are all engaged with that sector. It's good to see.
It's really fun for us too, because we are the EPC. So we can help with, the engineering. We have like our own like nuclear engineers, mechanical, structural, civil, whatever. But we have an engineering team that can help these companies that, they have this vision and they have this dream, and then Kiewit can really come in and make that dream a reality with our engineering, with our procurement, and like our like pipelines through suppliers that, we've built over decades and decades of work and infrastructure. And then also our construction. And a great thing about Kiewit is we love to get in there and do what they call a progressive design build. So we come in from the very beginning, have our engineers work with your engineers, have our procurement specialists start working with the engineers. And then in the back of everyone's mind is the constructability of these nuclear reactors. Because a lot of this technology and innovation and engineering is so new. We're not quite to the point where, well, how do we actually construct this? How do we make this like buildable so that it is a reality? And Kiewit can come in and help these companies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we do these progressive design builds where we come in at the very beginning and we start working. We're doing that with a company right now called Oklo, which they've gotten really involved in the community. They've become chamber members. They donated money to the museum. But we are building their nuclear reactor, and that is also out at the INL. right outside of the material fuels complex is kind of where they're located. But yeah, this is a commercial reactor that'll use nuclear power, like nuclear to power, whatever. Yeah. And we're working with them right now. So we've already started moving dirt. We've already started blasting because I think they have to go 70 feet in the ground for the nuclear shaft where, the reactor goes.
Yeah.
That is also like, it's really cool to learn about all of that and like our blasting teams and what they're going what they're going through out there. But we're working with Oklo in real time. So one of the problems that they've been having is, as we know, we have a lot of lava rock out at the INL. Yeah. And lava rock is so porous that when they blast it, what is the word I'm looking for? It like consumes all the energy because it's so porous. Yeah. So it doesn't break apart. Like we thought it would.
Pretty indestructible.
Kind of, yeah. So that's been like an interesting thing that they've been kind of having to work through. Right. So we're able to, hey, we're having these problems or, and then they can adjust their designs. So it's kind of cool to be able to do that. We start working, we run into issues. It's not building the way they want it to build. They can go and fix the engineering. And so anyways.
That's great. So you're going to bring a real value there because like without that knowledge base, understanding the local geography as well and topography and just like how everything's set up, any other private business that's coming in to work with the lab, you guys are right there in hand and can help value engineer everything and save them a whole load of money in the process and time.
Yes. Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me a little bit about your kind of role specifically then within Kiewit and how do you kind of like work within the community? What's important to Kiewit?
Yeah. So what's important to Kiewit, one of our core values is stewardship. And for us, stewardship just means leaving your community better than you found it. Also, integrity is one of our core values. And so that's just doing the right thing, even when no one's looking. For us, and especially in nuclear, we're really lucky because it's Eastern Idaho. And we've always had the lab here. And so there really isn't a taboo around nuclear. Most people here, someone that's worked at the lab, right? Like, or you've worked at the lab or so we have that going for us. Right. But, Kiewit, what they're used to is they go into a community, they build a project, and then they leave. But for nuclear, that's not how it's going to work because the work is at the lab. And so for us, it's being able to have someone like me in the community building trust in what we're doing so that they know that we're building facilities that aren't, going to turn us into Batman.
Or Spider-Man.
Doesn't he fall into like toxic waste?
No, but that was the Joker.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My DC knowledge is
Two-Face. I don't know.
Sure.
Something like
whatever.
That. Yeah.
So anyways, edit that out. That was terrible.
So we don't want to be creating superheroes and mutants.
Sure.
Like an X-Men as a result of that's happening out there. Be pleased to hear that.
Yeah. So building trust.
Yeah. Building trust. Yes.
Yeah. We want to build trust so that the community knows that what we're building is, standard and quality.
Good.
And then the other part is, like as we were talking, we work very closely with the Idaho National Lab, obviously. That's where the work is. It's going to be on their facility. So being able to have a good partnership with them is very important to us. And then just being able to give back to our community. Really, that's all I do. I just go out and I do what I can to make our community a better place. So for us, that looks like nonprofit involvement and chamber involvement. Yeah. Obviously, the business community is very robust and important in Eastern Idaho. Yeah. And obviously, I'm very biased towards all of that.
Right.
Just working for the chamber and being so involved. And so, it's important to Kiewit, and I wouldn't even have my job if it wasn't for the chamber. So, yeah.
I'm really grateful for your ongoing support for the chamber.
Yeah.
You guys decided to sponsor us again this year.
Yes.
So thank you so very much for that. And also supporting, we have a gala coming up, a March Majesty Gala for our fundraiser for our Emerging Leaders Program. You're a sponsor for that as well. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
It means a lot. And I think like everything that you're describing today, we've heard the same theme with other folks that I've had on this podcast, just kind of the importance of creating that community and being close-knit still. Yes, we're growing. And that's inevitable when good things are happening, but we can still keep that sense of community. And it's really great to hear that the private sector, the businesses, are very cognizant of that. And are recruiting people specifically to make sure that we continue to protect that sense of community.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and you've been here all of your life.
You
know, you're kind of born and raised here. So to kind of be actively engaged, involved in this like growing sector. As a result of the lab being out there, and it's just phenomenal. I spent a little while diving into the history of the chamber, and I think I shared this with you before, that it was like in the late 40s that the chamber, in partnership with the city, brought the Atomic Energy Commission to Idaho Falls. And so we really would not have the economy we have. And just to kind of give folks who are watching an idea of how things work economically, we have an $11 billion economy, roughly. And everything kind of related to the lab is about $4 to $5 billion of a contribution to that $11 billion economy. And it simply wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the chamber and the city folks getting together and working collaboratively to attract the Atomic Energy Commission. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
I love it. And so I love your point about stewardship. I very much feel whenever you're in a role within the chamber, whatever it is you're doing is very much a stewardship. It's this isn't my company. I don't own the chamber. Can never own it. But I can think about the legacy that the chamber leaves as a result of the work I've been doing. And I cannot do that without working with the likes of you.
Thank you.
You know, it means the world to me, and it's awesome to do. So thanks.
You're welcome. Much. Thank you.
So appreciate you being on today.
Thank you.
So everybody, that was Shayley Bodily from Kiewit Nuclear Solutions. Thank you for tuning in today. Really appreciate it, and see you on the next one.